Hello, this is a presentation from the clinical counseling team on how to find your passion, specifically as it relates to motivation and drive right now during this pandemic. So, can this relate to you? Are you struggling to find your passion for work, whether it's schoolwork or getting up in the morning? Or you're starting to wonder why you're doing everything or what is keeping you going? Understand first that these emotions are very normal. It's hard to stay motivated right now with this pandemic. And sometimes our motivation can be high, low, and vary during the day. We may have moments where we feel discouraged, feel like giving up, or feel like the obstacles in front of us are more than we can face. And this can bring a challenge to many of us. So, how do we recognize this in ourselves and how do we address it? This is what we're going to cover today. If you're specifically struggling to find subject areas or classes that you really enjoy, Um, this may sound weird, but watch a documentary or read a book about people and their success stories in those areas. If you're struggling to find what you enjoy, right, what you're passionate about, especially for those of you who are approaching graduation and thinking about the future, um, it can be really, really powerful to read books or watch documentaries about people who have made it where you want to go. First of all, it gives you a kind of someone to look up to, right? None of us go without struggles. You can learn the struggles they had to face. Oftentimes, we can look at people who are successful and think they have it made, they have it all. They didn't go through any struggles, but oftentimes that's not true. If you're struggling to find a mentor, you can reach out to your teachers, staff, family members. Again, people who will support you and will provide you with that encouragement in those moments that you do feel like giving up. It can be easy to be discouraged during this time. But again, if you kind of just try to remember that, you have an end goal, whether it is to finish school, whether it is to go to college or enter a certain job, whatever it is you like to do. Don't let this pandemic kind of let you forget what that end goal is. And so sometimes we need a reminder, right? You can read inspiring stories or find people to mentor us. It can go a long way. Also, learn about yourself and kind of how best you learn. Some people learn best by listening and absorbing information. Some people learn by doing. Other people learn um, by artistic expression. Other people learn by practice or creating little tricks of memory. Again, find what not only how best you learn, but what makes it exciting for you. If you don't always enjoy everything that you're doing, find some small, minuscule thing to find exciting about it. This often can help. And again, also part of that too comes with understanding how you learn and taking advantage of that. So is there some way that you can translate what you're learning in class to auditory, for example? You learn best by hearing or if you learn best by doing, is there some way you can practice more? If you learn through, different abbreviations and memory tricks, are there flashcards you can make, different abbreviations you can make? Can you turn it into a fun game? Like if you enjoy game shows, can you turn it into like a Jeopardy? Just to help keep you going, because oftentimes if you just look at the material and what's in front of you, it can be easy to be discouraged, but try to turn it into something that's interactive that you have to engage with. Again, there are ways to connect what you're learning to your future career goals. May not make sense right away, but you'd be surprised what you need to know for various professions. So oftentimes some people will say, they want to be an entrepreneur, start their own business. Well, that involves, mathematical skills, that involves people skills, communication skills, all these things beyond just, balancing the books of a business or coming up with an idea. It can be hard to think otherwise, but don't let yourself stay in that area where think that this pandemic is just going to last indefinitely. It's definitely something we're struggling with right now, but don't let it um, impact your positivity or hope for the future. Right? Always find some way to keep that hope because that'll keep you going. And if it, lowers or if you're struggling, again, reach out to people who you trust to mentor you. Life keeps going and there will be struggles along the way, whether it's this pandemic or something else. But as long as we have people around us who support us, they can help us get through the difficult times of when our motivation just isn't there. And then find ways to combine your passion as well. What does this mean? It means that even if a skill isn't even if class isn't directly related to what you want to do for a career, that isn't to say that it won't benefit you. Let's say you are interested in helping people, you want to become a teacher, do something related to that. Well, aside from being a teacher, um, if you want to volunteer for a nonprofit or work for a nonprofit or some job where you're helping people, again, you need those communication skills. A good knowledge of history will help you, connect to different people's experiences throughout time. Um, knowledge of the arts, although it might not always apply depending on what you want to do. Again, it's information about different cultures of this diverse world that we have. It's different forms of expression and different difficulties that we've often had. I mean, if you are artistically inclined, there is a lot that can come from this. I'm sure that you've heard many musicians, write about their experiences going through this pandemic as we're going through globally. So, you know, if you find those outlets, those healthy outlets or people you can talk to, not only will it help you feel, supported in this difficult time, but it'll also keep you focused with, again, what was the purpose? What is your end goal? What would you like to do in the future? When you don't lose sight of that, it can help you keep you motivated, especially when you feel down and as if, that nothing's going to come from it. If you stay focused and you stay positive or hopeful, again, we're not always going to be positive 24/7. It's not realistic, but hopeful. And you have people around who support you. This helps. Connect your passions to your end goals. What does this mean? It means that it's important to look at the big picture when we can, but don't let the big picture make you lose sight of all your success so far. Don't let the big picture make you feel overwhelmed. It's good to have dreams and long term goals, but what's most important is, again, finding that internal passion, drive, and letting it motivate you, but everything one step at a time. We're talking baby steps here. You may have an end goal of what you want, and school is part of that. Even if you'd say, well, what I want to do doesn't require more schooling, um, there's always a benefit to education. Um, Even the more non-traditional jobs, like I just mentioned, you want to go into entertainment, you need to know how to read people. If you want to work with people, even if you want to do a job where it's like, I don't like people, I don't want to work with people. Oftentimes, many careers require that knowledge base of the beginning skills. And so you'd be surprised how related and unrelated fields not only help you connect with people if you need to for your job, or just give you a background to see everything from all these different angles. You know, as we come from different generations, there are new changes, and the world's constantly changing and moving, whether we're catching up or not. So, uh, again, try not to think of it as just this one assignment that you don't look forward to doing, and look at it as not only building your knowledge, but building. You want to market yourself later on, right? Whatever you do, you're trying to market yourself. So the more that you can say that I have some knowledge in this area, and this area, and that area, the better you can market yourself, and the more that you can persuade people. Because even if you don't want to work directly with people, you always have to interview for a job, right? Again, think big picture, don't overwhelm yourself, but also think how this small inconvenience really is helping me in the future. Again, don't lose sight of your goals. They're what keep you going. But we understand that even still, you may struggle to find yourself, whether it's your identity or your passion and your end goal and motivation. You can reach out to a teacher, staff member. Again, finding those mentors and people that you trust can go a long way. But if you are struggling more than you usually struggle, that is okay too. It is completely fine to struggle. It's completely fine to admit when we need help. And it does not say anything about us. Reach out to a teacher, staff member, or the director of our clinical counseling services, c.sartiaguda. So hopefully these tips and tricks and reminders will help you rediscover your passion and your end goal. Um, Stay dedicated. We know that it's not easy, um, but know that you do have the support system around you. And should you need more specific supports, take advantage of the resources you have here at Puck. Um, we know that motivation can, you know, fluctuate right now, um, but know that you do have the supports around you. This has been a presentation by the Puck Clinical Counseling Team. Thank you.